Pringle looking towards Agard. Ravel, ambitious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it! And they are back on terms!
Hello and welcome to New York Talk. We have our head-to-heads ready. Our ref watch is ready to go. That means it's the start of the season. We're ready to go for the 2021-2022 season. It's finally here, fans. We're finally going back into a competitive game for Rotherham United for the first time in forever. So we're going to look ahead to what will be a very exciting occasion. The result might not go away, but it's going to be a really exciting day getting back into New York with a hopefully fullish crowd. We have Mick back with us from a car park in Wales.
Slightly different car park. I've steered away from the other one.
Brilliant. So apologies for any sound quality or technical issues. They are probably all going to be Mick. So I'll just warn you all in advance. Ben is with us again, a minus the pink cast.
Yeah, I've got a smaller cast on.
Yeah,
they didn't have any pink, which is a name, but
I'm sure you got. I've got two little girls who like coloured in pink. So if you want, I'll get them to colour it in.
Yeah, why not?
And Danny's joining us again as well. Thanks for joining us, Danny.
Hello, always a pleasure to be here.
So it's been a busy few days since we recorded our predictions. We recorded Sunday night, went out Monday morning, and there were no signings. And then in a flurry of afternoon action, they also came through within a couple of days. So that's what we're going to start with. We'll get to the full preview in a minute, but it's exciting to talk about some transfers finally. So the three that we've signed are Ollie Rathbone from Rochdale, Akeem Odofin from Hamilton Academical, and Ramani Edmonds-Green, a defensive player from Huddersfield on loan for the season. Two of those we expected, Danny. We expected Akeem Odofin and Rathbone just about enough. But the Edmonds-Green sort of came out a little bit from nowhere.
Yeah, that one caught everyone off guard a bit, didn't it? And the admins on Twitter had a good laugh at the fans' expense. I was speaking to one of them on Twitter, and he were in stitches. He had the whole fan base on strings for 2 days. But yeah, Ramani Edmonds-Green did come out of nowhere. We were all expecting it to be the mysterious left back or potentially a different defensive player, but suddenly his name appeared. And I don't know if you've seen, or if anyone watching or listening seen the interview that he did on iFollow, but interest only appeared on Friday and he signed on the Tuesday. So that went through the door very quickly.
It shows how quickly transfers can move. But if he's not had interest from any other club, then that's why it's moving quickly. It seems to be a centre back. He's a bit versatile. It plays effectively a centre back, but I think he can from the right back. Is what I've heard.
He can basically play anywhere across the back. Across the back.
Which is what we're desperate for at the minute. We'll talk about team news before we get started, but before we go on to the preview, Icky's back for Saturday, which is a key one we talked about on last show. If Icky wasn't going to be fit, there may be some panic buying, but that's not the case. But we have now got a cover for centre back as well, with Tilton McDonald out for the foreseeable future. What are your thoughts on that, Mick? Are you happy with it? Danny says it all came very quickly, which is maybe not a good sign, but it could be a good sign that we've seen an opportunity and took it.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about it, to be honest. Not for the player at all, because it looks like he's a good prospect and everything else. I'm concerned about the reason why we needed to get a centre back in so quickly. I'm really worried about Angus Mcdonald, if I'm perfectly honest. I've not heard anything. I don't know anything. But I'm just a little bit concerned about what the issue is there. Given his previous history, whether there is some health issue rather than injury issue. I really hope not. I really, really hope not. But I just wonder whether that might be the case.
What's his history? We're not allowed to ask.
We'll not speculate. Because
No,
it is
no,
that,
there's
then
not-
it's a serious
yeah,
thing.
absolutely. It's just a concern because it's obviously been done very quickly. But it looks a good prospect. And he's played a few times for Huddersfield's first team as well. So yeah, and obviously the other issue potentially is Curtis Tilt. He has been injured, and we've talked about him in the past. And I don't know, does he fit? Does he not? Does he fit in? I'm not convinced that he does fit in. To be honest, we'll see. Don't know. So there might be some thinking there might be some reasoning behind it. Looking at those two players that are currently not available for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Fingers crossed it works. We played 26 times, something like Huddersfield last time in the Championship. So I'm surprised he's come to us a little bit based on that. I don't remember playing against us, but still a little bit of a surprise. Hakeem Adofin Ben can also fill in at centre back, and also another one I think I can fill in at right back as well. But he has come from Hamilton Academical for rumoured 300,000, although it might not be that high. Mainly an anchor, a defensive midfielder. And we haven't really got that bench. That ticks the box of a player we did need. It fills in the Sean McDonald kind of role.
Yeah, but Sean McDonald didn't really play last year, did he?
No, I suppose.
I thought he played well as well last year. It could be interesting to see how he plays, what system he plays, with no real wing backs or even full backs. If really, you got Matic and Harding, and then you got these two lads who fill in at full back. By the sounds of it, but it's going to be interesting, man. Is he a Dauphin? Was he the Huddersfield lad?
No, he's Hamilton.
Or Hamilton? Oh yeah. Sorry, the 300 grand one. Yeah, I remember. It's going to be interesting. I mean, everyone's got the signing that they were asking for now, haven't they? So I'm excited to see him, man. I'm quite excited for Saturday. I hope at least one of them plays the new signings.
Yeah, I thought so. Although they've only signed on Wednesday, they will have been training all week. Certainly, Adolphin will have been training all week.
You're allowed to do that?
Yeah. As long as it's agreed by the clubs, you can't just rock up with
well, yeah.
But he will have trained most of the week, which means he would be in contention. If he trained on Friday, he wouldn't be playing. But I think there's a good chance of that. And it comes with glowing references, Danny. Everything I've seen from Hamilton is, suits Rotherham United down to ground.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, last season, he played the full 90 minutes in all but 3 games last season, 2 of which he wasn't in the squad, and the other one he played 78 minutes. So he's one of Hamilton's main players that we've managed to snatch. But I can see him being very similar to Semi Ajayi. Not like height-wise, but in terms of operating as the sitting midfielder that goes and backs up the defence. He's very similar in that regard. And one has said that he does see him as a defensive midfielder and not a full-back or a centre-back. Because they both sort of said to each other, your best position's defensive midfielder. Yeah, all right, Gaffer. And so I think that's where they're going to play him. They might play a diamond in midfield and have him as sitting midfielder, but we'll have to wait and see.
It gives an option, doesn't it? You can do that. You can do a diamond. You can then play with a 3 with a sitter. You could still play with a 2 and then have him sitting and somebody else roam you through like Crooks used to do in League One last time. It gives you 2 or 3 different options and make filling it centre back if needs be.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a really good signing. Looking forward to seeing him play. I'm looking forward to seeing him definitely. If he's half as good as Semi, half as good, then I tell you what, we've got a player. So
yeah. And the next player we've signed this week and spent money on, it's Ollie Rathbone. Have you got any figures on this, Danny? Do you know? I know it's 6 figures.
I think it's roughly 200k. Like give or take 50 either way, because he is one of Rochdale's best players, and like Warren said in his interviews, it sort of took advantage of the fact they were relegators, like Middlesbrough did with us with Crooks. But I think 200k for a player like Rathbone is reasonable. It might be higher, but just speculating.
Yeah, and he's a bit more of an advanced player, Ben. Not quite Crooks advanced, but a bit more, certainly more advanced than Adolphin. We've got some real options in the middle of the park. I haven't spent some money on it, but having some real options is what we need in League One.
Well, this is what I mean about how, excuse me, I'm interested to see how he plays on Saturday, what system he plays, because we've got a real selection. Bar probably strikers, I think we've got quite a lot in each position. Oh, excuse me, and wing backs. But yeah, how did he score? Is he quite a goal scorer? What's funny? What are you laughing at me?
No, it just sounded like you got a bit of football Tourette's there. I just threw in and wing backs out of blue, completely out of context of conversation.
Did he get many goals last year?
Not a great deal, some,
No.
but he didn't get like 15. But he got some.
Listen, I mean, if he can come on and develop 2, 3, 4 years from now into a Crooks, which may be the plan, maybe not. Because Crooks came in, I don't think he was a goal scorer when he came in.
No,
that might be me making that up. So maybe is he a young lad? How old is he? Do you know?
24. 24 is a really good age.
So that's probably a long-term project, which is very good because we've had some very good long-term projects under Warren. Made us a lot of money. So
the way I see Rathbone is a little bit like Frecklington. I mean, I don't want to compare players, everybody's different, but the way he's operated at Rochdale, it's like how Frecklington used to operate for us. You know, box-to-box midfielder, but definitely has more of an attacking intent to him. And just looking at where he's played at Rochdale, he's played centre mid majority of the time, but he's also been second striker, winger. So he's anywhere in that middle third is Rathbone. So he can just play everywhere, basically.
Yeah. From the highlights package that Rochdale put together, he ended up scoring with about 3 tackles. And there's just something about scoring with a tackle. It just looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It's exciting, mate. We've waited a long time for these transfers this summer. We've waited a long time in terms of the transfer window. But these 3 look like all of them look like really, really good signings in the areas that we need.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you talked about the highlights package for Rathbone, and they're obviously it's always a dangerous guide to use in it for a player. But as I watched that, all I could think of was Lee Frecklington, and I tell you what, we had a conversation with somebody on Twitter about it. You know, if that's the type of player he ends up, again, like I said with Shemi Ajayi, if he's half as good as Lee Frecklington, it's an absolute steal of a buy that. And there's time in terms of his age and everything else to mould him into that sort of player as well. So it's been a good transfer window, despite all the moaning at the beginning, and the time it's taken for these things to come in. We've had patience. We've gone out and we've got the players that we wanted. Can't fault it. Can't fault it at all. Be nice to get another one in. Just one more.
Why?
We're certainly not finished. We're certainly not finished. There's a left back, which in the advertiser says we're signed. A bowler.
Yeah.
But that's not
bowler.
A bowler.
Dear me, Ben.
I'm going to say that's an unfortunate name.
I think he's the left back from Arsenal, Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is supposedly signed, but not officially done because of one reason or another. And we're certainly after a striker as well, a 4th striker to go into that roster as well. I haven't, again, that's an area I haven't seen any rumours for. Cosgrove, who's trying to get on loan from Birmingham. Us on Wednesday were linked with him. Wednesday have gone and signed Lee Gregory, so that probably leave Cosgrove with us as his only option. But his English scoring record is not very good. His Scottish one's quite good, but his English scoring record is pretty poor. So, a couple of weeks, we've still got to wait for all the loanees from the Premier League clubs to become available. That's going to be another week or 2 before they're actually available to properly talk to the club about and get released. So, we're certainly not finished. You said Ben. Do you think you're happy with the full squad, not the 11?
I was just asking why. Because I don't want the answer to be, we just need another signing. What for? Mm-hmm. If the manager's happy with the squad, he's happy with the squad. I think signing players just to sign players causes you to buy bad apples or buying people because the fans want you to buy something. That's all I was asking. I was one of the
Yeah,
reasons.
My
Well,
thinking was
like-
I just feel we need to strengthen up front a little bit. Just that give us that little bit more depth and a few more options in the striker department. We've only really got 3 out-and-out strikers, you know, and if they get injured, then one of them gets injured, then it puts us in a difficult position. So, but no, I'm happy with it. Happy.
That backup right back spot is still wide open as well. We've not taken up the option with the 2 trialists that we had, Marlon Fossey and Matt Dale. Matt Dale has gone to Hartlepool on loan, and Marlon Fossey, we've chosen not to take that option up of a loan or whatever the deal would have been. So we're still in the market for a right back. The Sean Rooney deal seems to have gone very, very quiet, but I suspect it's one of those which could get revived at any time. The Jamie Lindsay, when we signed Jamie Lindsay, that died for a little bit, and then it came back, and the signing came through. So it's always an opportunity with that. Danny, have you heard any other names on those we mentioned? There's not a great deal of names.
No, I mean, the main one may potentially be Cosgrove from Birmingham. Now, like you say, now that Wednesday have signed Lee Gregory, but everything else has gone quiet. Like you say, Sean Rooney's gone quiet, but that could be anything. It's like, wow, interesting. Oliver Rathbone went quiet for a little bit, and then suddenly, bang, he's signed. Another leak from the advertiser. That were quite funny, that the whole article being leaked and all fans jumping on it straight away. But yeah, it's just gone quiet. I mean, in Warney's press duties today, he said we're expecting possibly 2 more in and then potentially 1 out. You know what Rotherham fans are like. They've gone into meltdown going, oh, we're going to lose one at main ones, we're going to lose Smith or Wiles or whoever. But I personally think it's going to be one at younger lads, potentially Cooper or Hull, going on loan to maybe one lower down League One or top end League Two, like Josh Cawood did. So, but you know, it's a transfer window. Anything could happen. We've still got virtually 3 weeks to sort our house out and to sort anything else out. So we'll see what develops in the next week. We might go after people after the first couple of games because one area looks especially weak than the other ones, or Smith might have a blinder of 5 games and someone might go, yeah, we're going to sign him. I mean, you just don't know, do you? But in terms of who we're interested in, very quiet now. Very quiet.
Yeah, it is. And this is one of the reasons that a few years ago they changed the transfer window to close before the season started, to stop teams looking at what they needed a few games in. It is open until the end of August. So let's wait and see. I think it's going to be... we're certainly not done, let's put it that way. So shall we move on to talk about the game on Saturday that's happening, that we're all very excited about? I know I'm excited, anyway.
Absolutely buzzing.
So we have our first game in forever, competitive game forever at New York with fans in the stadium. The first time since a 1-1 draw with MK Dons, I think, was the last home game with fans in, which was disappointing. I remember that one. So let's hope for a slightly better one than that. I know Mick likes these head-to-head stats, so I'm going to start there, if that's all right with you. It's the 71st meeting of the teams, so it will be the 71st meeting. We're unbeaten in the last 3 home games against Plymouth, with the last loss in 2004, so a while ago since we lost at home to Plymouth. So it's a decent enough record we've got against them. Yeah, I'm excited. Danny, talk to me. It's exciting, man, isn't it?
I know, mate. It's going to be electric when the whistle goes. I think Plymouth sold about 1,000 tickets so far, which for the trek they're making is really good. And I think we've sold just shy of 9,000. So we might hit capacity at this rate. You never know.
Well, yeah.
But it's just to see just the sea of red and white in the town. You know, all the pubs packed with everybody and all getting bottlenecked over the bridge. You know, it's just nice to be back. I mean, we were talking about how nice it was with the friendlies, but now it's league football. You know, it's just nice.
Ben, you didn't go to any friendlies. This is going to be your first game of football you've seen since the pandemic started. How buzzing are you?
Very. I'm more excited. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm more excited for. I'm just interested, man. I'm kind of losing excitement about football nowadays. Yeah, I'm watching some Euro quality and some Premier League quality. I kind of lose the excitement, but that might change on Saturday. But I'm more interested to see that team lines up. I'm rating. It's confusing, and I want to baffle me that I have no idea how he's going to line up or who's going to start. Because Icky could not play. You know what I mean? He could still be a bit iffy. Coyote could start. Coyote could not even be in the squad. Like, I'm interested, man. I'm actually buzzing. The more I think about it.
You've done another one of them where I ask you a question, you start with one answer, and you've taught yourself into the different answers. Right. Talking. Just wait till I ask you for your team lineup and score prediction in a minute. Mick, like Danny says, we're looking at potentially 9,000-10,000 back at New York Stadium. We were there for 4,000 against Newcastle, and that felt good. But it's just different. We'll be back in those normal seats, like everybody will be in the normal seats. I'm sort of not sure what to expect in a little bit because it's first time for everybody. Is it going to be straight away right back to normal? Atmosphere is going to be great, or is there going to be a little bit of apprehension and in terms of an atmosphere? What do you reckon?
Oh, I think it's going to be absolutely bouncing. I do honestly. I think it'll be bouncing, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. At my age, I don't want to be wishing my life away, but you know what I mean. I can't wait. Bear with me 1 second.
Oh my god! Every week.
The back.
Not looking for you. Just every week.
So you want running Wales? Is that what it is?
Listen. I don't know whether there's lots of people get injured here in Wales or what, but every time I do a podcast, an ambulance goes flying past. Maybe they just, I don't know. Maybe the risk takers down here. I don't know. But yeah, no. Listen, I'm absolutely. I can't wait. I want to be back in that ground. I want to be in there from 1 o'clock and just sit there and soak it all up as it all builds. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's been far too long, far too long. You know, we missed a full season, missed a championship season, and that's just not fair. That's just not right. So we're going to make it up now. As fans, we've got to make it up, get behind the team, and let's push them on.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how players react. We saw in the Euros some players got overawed by the occasion, and fans back in the stadium. This is from nothing to full crowds again for these lots. So it's interesting to see if that has any impact. It's obviously going to have some sort of impact. Our home form last season was not very good. Hopefully, this will push it forward to moving on to that.
Well, it depends, doesn't it? Because they do a bad pass, they're not used to having 10,000 people screaming at them, are they?
That's what I mean,
vice
yeah.
Versa. It's vice versa when they score, they don't have 10,000 people cheering. But as soon as a bad pass, that head might go down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you've got a lot of these players who have played the season not having any Rotherham fans in. They've only known Rotherham United without fans other than pre-season friendlies. So they don't know what it's like to get shouted at for making one bad pass as your first pass for the club. I'm sure they'll find out. We have done a chat with the Plymouth fan on our YouTube channel. So if you go on New York Talk through YouTube, we talk with upthegreens.tv about Plymouth Argyle. You'll be able to find out what to expect from Plymouth. With it being the first game of the season, I don't really know what to expect from them. So that's one of the reasons we got that on. So get over there and have a look if you're interested. And if you haven't seen it already and you are interested, have a look because it'll be very interesting. I am very sure. A couple of stats. Well, the only stat I've got in terms of player stats is it will be Richard Wood's 150th start in the league for Rotherham United on Saturday. He will probably be starting Danny alongside, hopefully, fingers crossed, Icky. Is that how you see the defence, or could you see a 3-5-2 coming in like some friendlies?
It's a tough one to call for the start of the season. I think, like you say, Wood will definitely start. But with Icky, it's still a bit 50-50 because he's had his scan, and it's good news because there's no fluid on his muscle. But it might be just a little bit too early for him. and he might be given a start on Tuesday. But if Icky lines up next to Woods, then great. If not, I think it'll be Wood and a Doffin. Potentially in a 2 with Ferguson and Harding either side as fullbacks, or it'll be Wood in the middle, a Doffin on the left and Harding on the right. I think they might keep a Doffin back just for that game, just to cover at the back, because Edmonds Green, it's already been said he won't start because he's only had 45 minutes of pre-season, so he needs to catch up a little bit. Yeah,
and that's the positive of having the League Cup game on Tuesday against Accrington. It's not pre-season friendly, but we can use it as a pre-season friendly for somebody like him. He can hopefully. I imagine he'll play most of the game Tuesday. Would have thought. The big news, Mick, really one of the big team newses is that Victor looks fully green lighted to go, and we will have our number one keeper in the net, which for your first game of the season is very, very, very important.
It is. It's massively important, and it's great that we're going to have. He's going to be there for full out because like we've said, he is the fans' favourite. It wasn't his quad that he injured, by the way; it was his groin. So the conspiracy theories about Paul Warne going around stabbing people in quad just for a laugh would appear to have been wrong. But yeah, it sounds like he's going to be back. He's going to be back in front of us for a full house, and I can't wait.
Can't he play on his going anyway? Because he's a keeper. He's not going to be running.
He's kicking into it and diving. And the issue is, Ben, obviously...
Diving? Are you questioning the keeper diving?
No, I mean, like, what do you usually going when you're diving?
What's the jump?
I don't know.
The issue is, as well, is what damage it does if he continues to play on it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's a moot point, really, because he's back for the opening game, and I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah. Midfield, Ben. What? First of all, what formation are you going for? And then, are you playing a 3 or a 2? And if you are playing a 3 or a 2, are you playing?
I don't know I don't know any new guys' names, right? So I'm just gonna say Richard Wood, and then everyone else. Everyone else. No, everywhere. Now Richard Wood at back, and then just I don't know, pick a name out of a hat. I don't know who they are. So just.
I mean, we've literally signed 4 players.
Yeah, but I don't know who they are. Paul Richardson, is that one of them? Ferguson.
I don't see a Paul Richardson on my list, Ben.
No.
Ferguson.
Was left back.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just saying Richard Wood at back, and then everyone else can do what they want. I'm going to probably say 5.
It's your attention to detail that we appreciate, Ben.
Actually, I don't know any names. I don't know any lads' names. But 3-5-2. Just put left back, right back, centre back.
So right back, you're playing hard.
Left wing back. No. Oh, no, I'm going to put right. I'm going to put Ogbene on the right, and Miller on the left, wing backs.
Wing backs, okay.
And then
Wood. You know people's names.
Yeah, Wood, and then 2 other centre backs, and then probably Wiles, Barlasser,
Lindsay.
Oh, yeah, probably Lindsay. I don't even know. I forgot. Club. Who's that new lad?
Rathbone.
Rathbone.
Yes.
Rathbone, and then Smith and Kai Ledeffer.
You sure about that?
Yeah, that was on the spot. It's been a while, man. It's been a while.
Since we last played, Ben, since we last went to watch the football game, the number of players you're allowed up pitch hasn't increased to 12. So,
was that 12?
Yeah, you did, mate. Don't worry about it.
5-3-2.
Yeah, I know that 5, 3, and 2 add up to 11, but you named 12 players.
5, 3, and 2 adds up to 10.
Yeah, 5, 3, 2 adds up to 10.
Oh, God, this is going well.
No, it's going to be a long season.
Yes, it is.
Well, you need to get somebody on who knows something about football. So that's me and Ben sacked straight away.
How eager do you think he'll be to start Odofin and Rathbone, Nick? We'll assume they've had most of the week's training, so they're not coming in, out of nothing, and they both had a full pre-season. What do you think?
I don't think he'll be eager to start him at all. I think he's got his first 11 in his mind, and I think that's pretty much the first 11 that started against Newcastle.
Not 12,
possibly with the exception of swapping out Miller and Ferguson, potentially, just to give you that little bit more defensive capability. So I don't think he'll be keen to start them, certainly on Saturday. I think he'll want to keep it as settled as he possibly can. So for me, I think the team's going to be pretty much the same, like I said, as the Newcastle starting 11, but possibly with Ferguson instead of Miller.
Cool. Ben, you're chuckling to yourself.
No, it's just because it just dawned on me that big figure. What did you say? What question would you say?
Or what he might do actually is play Ferguson and Miller and hope that referee don't count how many players are on pitch. He could do that as well.
Just dress one up as a linesman and keep swapping shirts.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, what question?
We didn't ask you.
I asked what you were laughing at.
Oh, right. I was laughing at me.
Yeah, I've got it now. I've got it, mate. I've got it. If you want to have a go, Fan Hub. If you are on the Fan Hub app already, if you go in and you'll be able to pick your team for Saturday, you can check in live at the stadiums as well. And in away games, it will, as part of the Fan Hub leaderboard. If you're not on it, there's a leaderboard which will measure us against each other and also measure us as a club against other clubs. It will measure your miles travelled to your away games, which we can now do. So if you're a regular traveller, get on that, because eventually there will be prizes you can win and cash back you can win through that app. If you're not on there already, get on it, because you listen to us through the app as well. If you listen to us through the app, it increases your leaderboard score. So if you are on there, brilliant. If not, get on it, because it is a good laugh, laughing at Mick getting 2 out of 11 and things like that. So shall we do a little bit of score prediction? Oh, good for time tonight, actually, for once. But Mick, first game back at New York, what is it going to be?
Oh, we're going to go for it. Let's go for it. Come on. I'm with 3-0 Millers.
Very positive.
Let's go for it, mate. I genuinely think that Warne is just going to... I've seen a bit of a change in Paul Warne over the summer, and I don't know why or how or what point I've seen it. He just appears different. His attitude is different. He seems far more, I don't know, a bit more aggression about him. I think he's hurting from last season, and I think he wants to put that right. So, yeah, definitely. They're going to go for it. I think we're going to see a very, very much more attacking Rotherham United this season than we did last.
Fair enough. Danny?
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with Mick with Paul Warne's attitudes, because you can tell after what happened with Cardiff, he really took it to heart. I mean, before I came on, I was listening to his interview with Football Heaven, and you can tell it really, really got to him. And I think, yeah, we'll play a much more attacking style. We seem to be putting more emphasis on not only just keeping hold of the ball, but pushing it up the pitch, not faffing about with it. And that's one reason he signed Odofin and Edmonds Green. They just don't faff about with it. They just bang it forwards, out wide, in the middle, wherever. But having a look at Plymouth's team, they've got a very high goal scoring forwards. I think he got 16 goals last term in the league. So they're going to be an attacking threat, but we might just overcome them with the wide players, and possibly if Rathbone plays, he'll just go probably through up the middle. So I'm going to go roll from 2-1 for me.
2-1. Cool. Benjamin?
1-0 Rotherham.
You sure?
I think it's going to be that good a game. Yeah. First game of the season, I think it's quite cagey.
Yeah, could be. I'm going to go 1-0 as well, Ben. We'll steal your thing. I don't think it'll be a classic. I think the day will be remembered just more for fans being back in rather than anything else. It's one of those. It's not essential. It's one of those things that it's not essential to get off to a winning start. It'd be lovely. It's nice. But if we end up drawing, Plymouth aren't mugs. we're not playing we're not playing a team who've got no players and this, that, and other. They're a solid team. We're a solid manager. Danny just mentioned that they've got a goal scoring striker in their team who has been tipped for better things with respect to Plymouth, better than Plymouth in future. So it's going to be an interesting game. I'm looking forward to it. The ref watch I have is our referee for Saturday is Sebastian.
Is it Gavin Ward? It's not Gavin Ward.
I don't think he does League One.
Where's the bingo sheet? Where's the bingo sheet?
Sebastian Stockbridge is his name. He refed us twice in League One last time when we beat Bolton 6-1. And he was the referee the last time that we won in front of a crowd, which was... Any guesses to the game? Can anyone remember?
Well, what was the score? 3-1.
I didn't tell you the score, but
The
last time we won in front of a crowd.
Last time we won in front of a crowd.
League One,
Bristol.
obviously.
Bristol Rovers at home?
No.
Was it later than that?
It was late, just later than that.
Oh.
Is it me? I can't remember anyone.
I don't remember.
I have no idea who he
I don't
plays.
remember him. What I've done is I looked at his stats and I've realised that he refed us on this.
No, I don't. Obviously, I mean like the games. I have no idea. Rochdale, that's the only one I remember because it was awful.
Yeah, it was.
Charlton.
And Charlton weren't in that league. We could go on forever. Ed. Any last guesses before I really answer?
Oh Christ.
Oh no, we're in. Oh, I'm an idiot.
Which season are you thinking of, Ben?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought, oh yeah, Charlton were in Championship last year. We were in League One.
Were it Lincoln away?
No. It was an away game, if that helps.
Not really.
Oh.
But wait, what? We were in League One, weren't we? We were in League One, weren't we? Wait, we were in League One, weren't we?
Yes, mate, we're in League One.
Oh, right. So when I said, oh, yeah, we were in Championship, no one thought to correct me.
Charlton were in Championship.
Oh, were they?
I'm just trying to think backwards because it was Rochdale that we lost. Then it was MK at home, which were a draw. Wimbledon was a draw. Was it Oxford?
No.
No?
Accrington Stanley.
Oh, my God.
The
day that I nearly froze in the away end. Yes, I remember it well.
He did reference in the 6-1 against Bolton as well, but he's not. Thankfully, it doesn't stand out, and that's what we like about people not standing out. Is referees just letting them with a job, and we'll crack on from there. This is Rotherham United's 91st season as Rotherham United, which is exciting because it's a season starter. What are we'll finish on thoughts for the season and what your sort of expectations coming into this game. I get more excited, Danny. I forget about the bad things as you come into the season because nothing bad's happened yet. So I'm getting more and more excited about our prospects. These signings are not helping my excitement, to be honest. It's going up and up and up because of these signings. Can you be level-headed and do that, or are you just like me and just getting excited?
I'm getting excited because we're allowed back in and I'm actually able, fingers crossed, to report on a full season with Rotherham. I tried to do it in 1920 and then COVID happened. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for the long away trips. I'm excited for new signings. I'm excited for limbs and everything.
Oh.
But at the same time, League One is really tough this year. Like, it's insanely tough. I mean, you've got Ipswich splashing money. You've got Wigan splashing money. You've got Sunderland still trying to get out of League One. You've got Sheff Wednesday swinging the weight about. You've got Wickham, who will certainly try and be up there as well. And then you've got MK Dons as well. They're looking like a surprise deal this year. I mean...
Well, they were.
Yeah, well, they were. But it's one of them seasons where we know we're going to do well because, not to jinx it or anything, but we always perform very well in League One. But at the same time, if you just keep your heads and just like pay attention to what you're doing, don't look who's around you, and then hopefully it'll just build and build higher. Because I don't want to get too optimistic until maybe we're in early April. But at the same time, it's just we're back at football. That's where my excitement is. And like I said in the other podcast, 10th upwards would do nicely. But with the signings we've made, playoffs, hopefully.
Yeah, Mick, what are your thoughts? And you are very positive and also patient fan, and that's potentially going to be key. Is having patience. If things don't go well in the first 10 games, it's about being patient because signings are quite late and everything else. It's about having patience, not only for manager and players, but as a fan.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's what's important is that the manager, chairman, players, and the staff at the club have the patience. You can't expect that to translate into some of the supporters. It's just if we're not 4-0 up by half time, there'll be someone on social media whining that we haven't done this, we haven't done other, only to come back into the second half and whine about the fact that they couldn't get a pie at half time. That's just what we've got in it. But yeah, you have got to be patient. And if we're not top at league by end of August, that's not the end of the world because it's a game at a time, isn't it? It literally is a game at a time. We don't know what these other clubs are going to be like. You're right about these clubs splashing money about, but that is not a guarantee by any stretch of anybody's imagination that they're going to do well.
It's the opposite.
They can spend as much as they want.
It's not the opposite, is it?
I feel like it is the opposite because people
be.
coming in for these big, you get signed for $1 million. You're gonna, I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming in. I'm the man.
It depends on your mindset, doesn't it?
Well, you're getting signed for $1 million. A lot of players are going to be coming in thinking not going to have a chip on their shoulder, are they? And I mean, coming in with that mindset, you're not going to last very long in League One. So I think it's the opposite.
I think you're right, Ben. I think there's going to be an element of that definitely for some of these clubs. So we'll see. I mean, Wednesday's, like you said, Wednesday splashing cash about or promising to splash cash about, and we know that
worked well from last time, didn't it? So
precisely. I mean, Lee Gregory is potentially a good signing, but he's as old as me now. You know what I mean? It's not as though it's not as we've not signing. Well, whatever we're talking about other clubs. We've got to concentrate on ourselves, like you said, Matt, and have a bit of patience. We will do well in this league. We are capable, without a shadow of a doubt, and we are probably the only club in this league that've got the recent experience of getting out of it.
Getting out the right way.
Yeah, exactly. By the very nature of the fact that these clubs are having to splash the cash, they haven't got that experience and they don't know how to do it, or they haven't known how to do it so far. So we've got that on our side, as well as a very, very strong squad and a very, very strong backroom staff and club. So yeah, I'm not going to start panicking. I'm not going to start panicking until we get to April.
It's a pretty tough start, Ben. We talk about being patient, but it is a pretty tough start. You've got Plymouth, who are a solid team. Wigan, who should have a strong squad. Playing Morecambe early on, and you would assume that they're going to be riding high on their promotion. Sheffield Wednesday have spent well, so in theory they should be strong. Donny, again, should be strong. That's just August. It could be a difficult start. Could.
It's not that hard.
It's as hard as other than playing Ipswich, it's as hard as it gets.
Is it?
That's literally as hard as it gets.
It's not a very hard league then. I mean, obviously, Wigan nearly went down last season, so they'll be right up there.
Yeah, but you got to think of the circumstances. You can't just write them off because they nearly got relegated. The circumstances where they couldn't sign anybody last season, and this season they're signing a lot. Again, on paper, Ben, they're signing a lot of good players, which should be a key word, should be good at this level. So it should be a difficult game.
Well, yeah. If only it were like that, though. You sign players and you sign players who should be good players and they are good. If only it were like that. I mean, I don't think it's a hard start at all.
The other thing to bear in mind there, Ben, as well, like they have signed loads of players who've never played together. We're going to be starting in 11 on Saturday. We'll probably just pretty much, give or take, done a full championship season together. They know each other like the back of their hands.
Very true.
So,
true.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's my point. Thank you.
It's the point that somebody else made for you.
Yeah.
No, it's not a problem. Anytime, Ben.
Fair enough. Right. I think, has anybody else got anything you want to add? I think I've covered everything I need to cover.
I think just one more point. I think, that, like we said earlier on in the podcast, it's looking potentially like some new signings coming in. A couple more to add. Interestingly, City have signed Grealish, haven't they? So
100 mil.
He'll be falling over in a light blue shirt. Villa fans have gone into meltdown.
Comical. It's pure comedy gold. Their meltdown.
Yeah, it is.
Do you know what? Do you know what's going to be funny? Do you know what's going to be funny? Villa fans complaining about him cheating against them. That's what's going to be hilarious. That's what's going to be hilarious.
But what that does is it opens the door for us to make our next signing of one Lionel Messi, who's now a free agent.
He is now free agent.
To be honest with you, I think that's what we've been waiting for. The guy don't need the cash anymore. He wants to come to a club where he's going to be appreciated by a manager who likes nice people. And Lionel's a nice fella. He's a good human being.
I'm just thinking, can you hand out player investor contracts? So come in as a player and he has a bit of money for other transfers, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Could do, yeah.
What it'll do, it'll give him a grounding in management, you see, as he comes towards the back end of his career. He can learn off the likes of Warney and Richie Barker. It's just a win-win. So I tell you
Apart
now,
from the fact they don't speak English.
Don't worry about that. Those are just minor things. Let's not get bogged down in little details like that.
Does he need to speak to his teammates? All he needs to know is pass to me, and then he's off.
Yeah. All he needs to do is put his hand up. That's it, and then he'll get ball, and that's it. Job done. Anyway, so you've heard it here first. Lionel Messi signing for Millers this week.
Fantastic. Keep your eyes on that. Keep your eyes peeled. So thank you all for listening and watching. If you're on YouTube, we do very much appreciate you being with us. If you are watching on YouTube, please subscribe, give it a big fat thumbs up, and subscribe because we've got the other stuff, like I said, we do the scouting report for Plymouth will already be on the YouTube channel. If you're watching this, if you haven't watched that already, go and watch that if you're interested on what to expect from them. We'd also like to hear from you as well. If you, after the game or before the game on Saturday, if you want to take a video yourself, just with your thoughts, minute or so, something like that, about your thoughts on the game that's passed or something like that. If you're going to email them to millersreact@gmail.com, what we're going to do is put them all together, put all your reactions together, and then stick it up on YouTube, and you can go through everybody's reaction, not just us. We do want to hear from you guys as well, because we very much appreciate that. And also, if you check out our website, newyorktalk.co.uk, you'll be able to see the match preview from Danny, which will be up there Friday afternoon. And you'll also be able to see a mammoth article from Lewis Oldham about the last 20 years of opening days from the night. Just to get you excited and more in the mood for Saturday. So very, very, very good opening days, and also not some good ones as well. So get yourself a cup of tea, a beer, or whatever you want, and sit down and read that on newyorktalk.co.uk, because it's very, very good.
In Lewis's own words, you need a brew and a biscuit to read it.
Exactly. And don't forget FanHub. Download FanHub if you're not on already, and keep an eye out for some golden. If you're not on already, golden tickets.
I've got a golden ticket, by the way. I've just looked.
Yeah, if you've got the app, you will have a golden ticket which you can share with any of your friends. We will probably have some over the next day or two as well to give out. Make sure to get your team prediction lineups in before 1:30 on Saturday afternoon. And
but all new players are in. New players are in it.
Because they haven't got squad numbers yet.
Oh, right.
Once the squad numbers are in, they can't put in without a squad number.
Obviously.
Apparently. And you can listen to this through there and read the stuff through there, which will give you more points, which will boost you up the leaderboard table and boost us as a club up the leaderboard table as well. So that would be very, very much appreciated. So thank you very much, Ben. It's been appreciated to have you with us today. I appreciate it. Next time, if you can learn some of the Rotherham United players, that'd probably help.
Do you know what I did learn?
Go on.
That Jamaica's near America. I thought it was near Africa.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Every day's a school day, Ben.
I don't know where to go with that, Ben.
No, I just didn't know it because I looked at it on map and it took me to America and I was just confused.
You've got a busy day, haven't you?
I tell you what, Ben. Yeah, you know something. When COVID came along, it certainly helped you with your qualifications, because you're entitled refugees.
Ben with his fake GCSEs there.
Listen, I don't care. I'd have to take them. I'd equal and pick I want. I'd have to take them and I passed them all. So, 100% record.
Okay. And Danny, thank you very much. You've added some knowledge to the podcast, which we always appreciate.
No worries at all.
And Mick, you've added a siren to the episode, so thank you very much for that.
Yeah. Every time I'm in Wales, I'll bring you a siren. I'll bring you an ambulance.
We'll be back on Monday morning with a review of this episode, game, and then look ahead to Tuesday night's Accrington Stanley Carabao Cup, blockbuster. So thank you all. Mick will be back in England for that one, so we won't have to put up with his terrible microphone and his
it won't be
sound quality issues. It won't?
Mick will be back in Wales on Sunday morning.
Sunday morning?
Okay. So, sorry, I lied to you all. I apologise for that. Got over his hopes up for that. So sorry, guys. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching, listening, and we'll see you all on Monday.
Pringle looking towards Agard. Ravel, ambitious, but brilliant.